So today I will be making a leftover soup, essentially. So it's all of our leftovers from Thanksgiving, and I will be creating a potato and ham soup for dinner tonight. It's super easy, it's really quick, it's not going to take very long, and you basically just chuck everything in a pan, heat it up, and eat it, and it's delicious. Okay. So first things first, I am trying to get my Dutch oven warmed up, and I'm going to season it a little bit. And I have this really garbage electric stovetop because we live in an apartment. So you use what you got, people. That's the moral of the story, is use what you got. So obviously with potato soup, you need some potatoes. And you can use whatever kind of potato that you like. And honestly, the size of them, I like little bite-sized pieces of my tomatoes. So we live our best life with bite-sized pieces of tomatoes, or potatoes. You know, potato, tomato, it's all the same thing. I like these little baby potatoes. These ones have super soft skin, so I don't have to peel them, and I hate peeling tomatoes anyway, so I never do it. No matter what kind of potato I am using, I will just chuck it, skin and all, in there. If you don't like the skin, obviously you can just go ahead and peel it off. But I think it adds a lot of like nice texture and flavor, plus you get all those extra vitamins and everything that were in there. So I am going to leave these right here. This is some beef broth that I made a couple weeks ago, and just have had it in my fridge. I think it's been like a week and a half. So I need to either use it up or freeze it, is the moral of the story. And I am just going to add it to my Dutch oven so that it can start billing. And it just will kind of be like, you can use chicken stock, you can use whatever kind of stock that you have or broth. I'm going to use this because this is what I have and I made it, so it's delicious. So I am heating up this Dutch oven, and I am going to get some beef fat in it. I recently made some bone stock, and I got all of the fat off of it for this exact purposes. I did not make tallow, which I probably should render it down, but I'm just going to chuck it in my Dutch. So I've been letting my Dutch oven heat up a little bit over this electric stove, which is obviously a little bit ghetto, but you use what you got. So I'm just going to put beautiful. I did not think it was going to go off that much. But this guy, so it is just my beef fat that I got off of my beef stock. And I'm just putting it in the pan. And this will also help season my pan a little bit. And all of these flavors are going to be incredible. I'm not crying, you're crying. So I've already added in my tallow. I guess I shouldn't call it tallow because I didn't actually render it. My beef fat into this pan. It's kind of like when you save the grease from the chicken or from bacon. It's pretty much what it was. I need a spoon. And this is my beef stock. So I am just going, or my bone broth, it's not even beef stock, it's bone broth that I made. And I am just adding it to my pan. And this is just going to help create a delicious base for this soup. Even though I'm using pork, I don't have any pork. Again, use what you got. This is what I got, this is what I'm going to use. And it's going to be delicious. So as you can kind of tell, since it was cold, it was kind of, it creates like a jelly-ish. And then as it warms up, it gets very, very liquidy. I don't know if you can... As you can see, as it heats up, it becomes this liquid. You can actually just drink this. Bone stock and bone anything, especially when you make it yourself, it is ridiculously healthy for you. The collagen in it is really good for your skin and your hair and your nails. It has all sorts of great ingredient or like just enzymes, everything. It's so good for you. It's really, really, really good for your gut and for your gut health. So that's awesome. And your gut is your second brain. That's what they always say. And it's where 80% of your immune system lives. So take care of your gut. So I added in a lot of minced garlic because we love garlic here. So this is all to taste. So if you don't love garlic, don't put garlic in it. And I'm going to take all of my potatoes and onions that I have cut up, and I am just going to add it into this beef broth, along with the garlic and the beef fat that is in there. And I'm just going to scrape all of this deliciousness into this pan, well, into my Dutch oven. I'm just going to make sure this all gets in there. And I'm going to let this come to a nice boil. So I have my heat up pretty high. I'm also kind of impatient. So, and it takes a lot because this isn't sitting directly on the heat and it's sitting right above it. I kind of have to keep the burner hotter than what it needs to be cooked at, just so that it cooks through all the way and it will actually heat up my Dutch oven as hot as I want it to. So while this gets nice and happy, I'm actually going to add in my carrots as well. I love roasted carrots. They're just so delicious. I will put carrots in anything, even if it doesn't call for it. So cooked carrots are one of my all-time favorite vegetables in the world. So I just have a bunch of baby carrots. I'm going to put this in there, and then I'm going to put the lid on it and let it live its best life for a while. Everyone, this is Juniper. She is 3 years old, and she is a Corgi Heeler mix. Yeah, you're so beautiful. She knows it. She knows she's pretty. And that fellow is Timber, and they are actually related. He is also a Corgi Heeler mix. He just has more Heeler in him than Corgi, which is why his legs are longer. And I am aware that he looks like a little min pin, but he is not. He is a Corgi Heeler. And he is Juniper's nephew. So, yay, keeping it in the family, huh? Yeah, good dogs. While that's cooking, I figured I would just explain to you guys what we're all doing. Me and my husband, who's currently at work, we are in the process of buying our very first homestead. And I'm so excited. We've been talking to a bank, getting all of the things. We have a property picked out. It's short sale, and if you don't know what a short sale is, that means the person that owns it is selling it for less than what they owe on it. And the moral of the story is it takes a really long time. Like, on average, between 4 and 6 months. So, that's cool. Good thing we started this process early. But it's an incredible little cabin. It's in the middle of the woods. It's on almost 18 acres. It's kind of hilly, so we won't be able to utilize all of those acres as well as we would like. But it does have a stream that runs through it, and it has electricity and a well and septic. So it has all of the basic needs. It will need a lot of work. If we get the house and we get approved, which I'm pretty sure we will. I don't know. You never know with these things. We will obviously video that whole process and redoing the cabin and starting the homestead from scratch. So that's kind of what our goals are. Our life goals is to get this homestead up and running. I love cooking and I love being in the kitchen and preserving food and all of that. And I used to do it a lot when I was little. I grew up around it. My mom is incredible at preserving food, and so are my sisters. I have not done as much canning in my adult life as I would like to, so we are rectifying that solution. But once I grow my own garden and everything, then we'll have a ton. And I grow as much as I can grow in this little apartment in the city. I always have plants growing. I currently have some dead tomato plants that I need to take care of because it is winter. We live in Montana, so it gets real cold, and your growing season is very short. So you make the most of when you can. But we are very excited, and hopefully we can bring you guys along on this journey with us. So if it's something that you're interested in and you like homesteading channels and how to grow food and watching us with our struggles and laughing at us when we make all these mistakes, because it's going to be hilarious. So subscribe and like our channel. We're just getting started, and we're so excited to share this process with you all. So this is our smoked ham from Thanksgiving, and this is kind of the leftovers. So you can see we've clearly been eating most of it. But while that soup and those potatoes and carrots and onions and everything is in there cooking, I'm just going to take my beautiful... Can you see this? Where's the light? Come on, light. My beautiful Shana knife. I don't even know if you guys can see it or not. But this is a Damascus steel knife that my husband bought for me a couple years ago. And it's effing amazing, and no one else is allowed to use it. No touchy. This is my knife. If you want one, get your own. They're incredible. So sharp. I do sharpen it with a whetstone, probably. I mean, it depends on how much I'm cooking that week. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing. But I love it. Love it. It's incredible. I don't know about you all, but I am a firm believer that you should be drinking while you cook. And sometimes you get too drunk while you cook. And shout out to Thomas for finishing the chili when I was wasted. It was delicious and you did a great job. Thanks, Thomas. But I like drinking. I always think, like, have a nice beer or have a cocktail. This is Grey Goose and lemonade. Do whatever you enjoy. And if you don't drink, drink some tea. Do something. But always make cooking enjoyable. There's just something about it, and something about making a really delicious home-cooked meal that's just good for your soul. And especially when you're using good ingredients and it's like fresh from your garden, that's the best. Oh. One day I will have a garden big enough to feed ourselves off of. That is my real goal, is to grow all of our own food. Because it's just so much better. You know exactly what's going on to your food, you know where it's coming from, you know how it's grown, you can take care of the soil, and then everything just becomes so fertile. I'm gonna have 1.5 million chickens and ducks because I love ducks. Okay, I'm gonna check on this guy again and see where we're at. That is, ooh, that's hot. That touched me. Don't let those touch you on accident because you will burn yourself, as I just demonstrated. No touchy. Go that way. Ugh, smells so good. I have got some like old thyme in here that I probably should have used already. It's pretty much dried out. So I'm just gonna crumble the leaves in here because I love thyme. And that is this whole point of this dinner, is everything that I got for Thanksgiving that was leftovers, and I bought a little bit too much stuff so that specifically I could do this. And I'm just gonna crinkle. I mean, your thyme, this is supposed to be fresh thyme, and it's obviously not. It's obviously dried out in my refrigerator. But that's gonna be so good. I love thyme. Love, love, love it. You know what I don't love? Cilantro. Cilantro is disgusting, and it's the devil's weed. I hate that stuff. So gross. Could gag a maggot. And yes, I just said it could gag a maggot. So this has probably been in here for about 20 minutes, boiling away, living its best life, and it has started to soften up. It definitely still needs some more cook time, but I'm going to go ahead and add in, I lightly cut up some kale, so we're going to add this kale in here. I should have used my bigger pot. And I'm going to chuck in the ham. Again, the ham has already been cooked, so it just really just needs to heat up, but I do want, like, the fat that's on this to be able to cook down and really saturate, like, the flavor. I want all of that delicious ham flavor really boil down into this. And I'm just going to let this kind of steam up a little bit in here. I'm going to put the lid back on so that kale squishes down. And then I will stir those ingredients in a little bit better in a few minutes. So what I didn't show you guys earlier is I did add a little bit of flour to it before I put all this stuff in there, just so the sauce would thicken up. But I didn't put enough beef stock. That's because I didn't have any more beef stock. So I did just barely add a little bit of water to this mixture. So as this kind of comes back up, because I do want it to be soupy and I do want that liquid in there, to make it super creamy, I am actually going to be using Greek yogurt. And so just whatever plain Greek yogurt you like best. Perfect. So I am just going to, I just have a little bit left in here. And again, this is just plain Greek yogurt to make it nice and thick and creamy. There is no heavy cream in this. It'll just be this Greek yogurt. And this is going to make this so creamy and so delicious. And if you guys just have regular plain yogurt in your fridges, that would probably work too. You can always, if you just strain, like take a cheesecloth or take an old t-shirt that you don't want anymore or something along those lines, you can actually strain regular yogurt. And the liquid that comes out the bottom is called whey, and it is incredibly good for you. You can use it in all sorts of different things like shakes and smoothies and when you're cooking and canning foods. So don't throw it away. But the leftover product is basically Greek yogurt. So if you just have regular plain yogurt or you make your yogurt at home, if you want Greek yogurt, you just have to strain it and let it all kind of, it'll take a little bit, and you just get the excess liquid out, and that's that whey at the bottom. And that stuff is crazy good for you, and it's so handy in so many different ways to use it. So that works as well too. And we're just going to let this boil up some more and keep cooking. We don't need your judgment. You don't chew off the rest of the meat off your ham bone. Are you even living life? Are you? Probably not. Vodka? Vodka. Vodka. Timber, what are you doing? Did I spill something on the floor? Oh, was it flour? Hey, I am going to let this kind of cool because like with any good soup or chili, if you let it sit for a while and then reheat it, it is delicious and it just takes on a little bit more flavor. So I'm just going to turn the heat off on this and I'm going to let this sit until Ben gets home and then I will reheat it when he gets home and hopefully it'll have a little bit more flavor to it. I haven't actually tried it yet, so it's probably delicious as is. I'll try some really quick. We'll try it and make sure it doesn't need any more salt or anything. Hot. Oh my god. That's so good. Oh my god, y'all, that's so good. I'm the master of the world. This is why I cook, because I just think I make really good food and then I call myself the master. So Ben doesn't like anything spicy, and so like he thinks pepper is spicy. Okay, first off, I would like to clear the air. Pepper is not spicy. If you think pepper is spicy, I can't help you. But I love spicy food. So I play this fun game where I only put salt in his food, and then when I put it in my bowl, I dump a bunch of pepper, and like I'm gonna put some some red chili flakes in this, and I'm gonna put some cayenne pepper on it for this nice smoky flavor, and it's gonna be delicious because I love spicy. So Ben just messaged me and he's on his way home from work, so I'm gonna heat up the soup again and then we're gonna eat dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching and following along. Hit the bell so you get notifications when we upload more videos, and go ahead and subscribe to our channel.